we have to talk about something that honestly has enraged both of us, and I know just from looking online, thousands and thousands of other people. It is a reaction to the terrorist attack by Hamas that started on Saturday and which has now put Israel at war. This is what the Black Lives Matter Chicago chapter, and I want to emphasize that is the Chicago chapter, that posted this yesterday. And you saw it yesterday evening, called me because you couldn't believe what you were seeing, but it is an image of a paraglider with the Palestinian flag flying off of his chute. And it says underneath it, "I stand with Palestine." Now, the caption, I think, also bears, because the caption to me is defiantly saying, I know what your reaction is going to be to this. And the caption says, "That is all."
Yeah, this is BS.
That is it.
This is BS. So that paraglider, by the way, the paragliders are the ones who flew into Israel and they decapitated babies, shot and killed babies, raped women, killed women, took hostages, slaughtered families in their homes. These are disgusting, vile terrorists. That's all they are. And that picture, the reason we know about the paragliders is Hamas. They're the ones that released the video of the paragliders because they were so proud of the carnage. And Black Lives Matter in Chicago embraced the killing of Jews. They are They are Hitler-esque. They are a Hitler-esque organization to do something like that. Period. These are Nazis, essentially, trying to exterminate Jews, and they are embraced by Black Lives Matter in Chicago. It is disgusting.
Yeah, the statement, "I stand with Palestine," has nothing to do with those paragliders. Nothing.
Nothing.
The paragliders were terrorists, and they wanted the world to know the terror that they were unleashing. And so why?
This is anti-Semitic. They want to exterminate Jews, and the Black Lives Matter movement in Chicago.
What is stunning to me is that the Black Lives Matter organization on the national level has not denounced this.
They have said nothing.
Because it is damaging. It is incredibly damaging.
How do you not?
Whatever credibility, and Black Lives Matter has had its issues over the last few years as far as credibility and people feeling like there were the allegations of embezzlement and all of that. So they've had their issues. This is a death knell to the Black Lives Matter movement if this is what they're going to espouse.
The organization.
The organization, the national organization, isn't saying I do not understand why there's not.
When we were talking on the phone last night, that was the first thing we said is, what are they doing?
And I started searching online, like,
and they weren't, and they didn't do anything.
And up to this point that we're recording this, there has been nothing.
Can you imagine? I just want to give you a hypothetical. Can you imagine if the ADL, and they would never do this, but let's say the ADL came out with a poster of a political candidate and showed Tops Market in Buffalo, where a racist shot and killed black people.
Right.
And they basically made it look like this is what they're supporting. Can you imagine, number one, what the reaction would be? And number two, the notion that the ADL would not come out and denounce it if a chapter of ADL did that?
Right.
It would be outrageous.
And this is what we talked about last night. How have we gotten to this point?
We're at that point.
How have we gotten to this point that, and we talked about this last night, that in the 60s, that
two civil rights workers were Jewish in 1964 who were killed in Mississippi.
Shoulder to shoulder with black people for the civil rights movement. And now we're at this point where such brazen and disgusting anti-Semitism can be expressed.
You know, it's really interesting that you say anti-Semitism. I know about anti-Semitism, that it exists and it's growing. This feels like it goes beyond anti-Semitism. It's extermination.
It is genocide.
It is what Hitler did. It is what Nazis did. And it's being embraced by Black Lives Matter in Chicago. And the national organization, to this moment, has said nothing. It is appalling.
The Chicago chapter did have some response. And I looked, there were thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of reactions to that post. This is what they said this morning. Yesterday, we sent out messages that we aren't proud of. I don't think that's a reference to the graphic to the I Stand with Palestine. It's more about their engagement with people online. We stand with Palestine and the people who will do what they must to live free.
They're justifying Hamas.
Those rescuing babies from rubble who are in danger of being wiped out completely.
We stand with Palestine and the people who will do what they must do to live free. That is justifying what Hamas did with this carnage. It is outrageous.
And Harvey, the rest of the statement where they're talking about babies being rescued from the rubble, that is about Israel's response with bombing after the terrorist attack. So even the babies they're talking about there are not the babies you were referring to.
And yet they weren't, exactly, yet they can't understand what the terrorists did to babies and mothers when they attacked on Saturday and continued for days to come.
That organization is Hitler-esque.
It is just sad, and if Black Lives Matter doesn't, as a national organization, say something about it, they are allowing people will take it as that they believe the same thing, and that's